Okay, good evening, everyone. So here we are the fifth group of the factual readings group. So I am Fithriyatul Ma'sumah with my partner, absolutely, Sister
Amalina Zulfah
Puspito Wahani
and Asri Fatiha.
So we are going to present our results of the duty that Ma'am Yusnita has given to us. So here we are. So in the first text, we are going to talk about why sky is blue. So for the main idea of the first paragraph, it is the curiosity about the color of the sky, and the second, it talks about why the color of the sky must be blue, and the third, why the color of the sky, not the other colors instead of blue. Why should be blue? Why it is not as like green or pink or yellow and etc. It will be continued by my partner.
Okay, so for the fourth paragraph is the deflection of light caused by tiny prints that are lit by the sun causes color separation. And the fifth paragraph is the difference in wavelength of or range of wavelength of the visible colors. Okay. For the next paragraph, we will explain by my friend.
So for the next paragraph is the main idea is the visible light. Wavelengths are very tiny. So seventh paragraph, the main idea is light is that it travels in a straight line unless some things get in the way to reflect it, bend it, or scatter it. So we'll continue to my partner. Okay, for the last three paragraph that I will enforce the main idea of it that is the eighth paragraph is about the scattering of blue and violet wavelengths in every direction while all the wavelengths pass through and remain white as they group together. And for the ninth paragraph is the effect of scattered wavelength blue and violet color in the atmosphere to our sensitivity of eyes. And for the last is the 10th paragraph. It's about the color of the sky appears lighter or white towards the horizon because the sunlight passing through more air molecules scatters the blue light in so many directions that less blue light reaches us. So, and for the next text.
Okay, so we are going to the second text, which title is "And Lives." So I got the first page and the second page. For the first for the first page, it talks about how an ant becomes the easiest insect which we can find in the world, and the second, the life cycle of ants has four stages, and the third, the way ants protect their eggs, which is done by female workers ants. And the second page, for the fourth paragraph, it talks about the way how large stage comes into a life cycle stage, and the fifth, in the larva stage, in the stage how fast they turn into pupae, and the sixth, the longest stage is when it comes to the end pupae stage, and the seventh, the stage of metamorphosis to be a fully grown ant. And it will be next by my friend.
Okay, for the page 3 and 4, there are some of paragraph that I will tell to you. That is, for the eighth paragraph, it is the main idea is the characteristic of the pupa stage in the life of ants, and the next is the division that occurs in the adult stage of ant, and for the next is the role played by adult males ant, and
For number 11, it's the relation of ants queen to their colony worker. And number 12 is the types of an adult and by the cycle of ant. And for the page 4, the main idea of the 13th paragraph is the role of the queen in ant colonies. And number 14 paragraph is talk about the role of drone ant as a productive male ant. And 15 is about the allies in ant colonies are born from unfertilized eggs controlled by the queen to avoid the overproduction of males. And the last one, the small amount of ants' egg that will become drone. And next.
So for fifth page, it's talking about the worker ants are sterile females that have different tasks to work all day. So for the next paragraph, it's talking about worker ants have to do all this to ensure the survival of the queen. So for the next paragraph is the queen can control the fertilization process that produce female ants. So for the next paragraph, we're talking about soldier ants are also sterile females ants who protect and colonies. So for the next paragraph, it's, all, it's talking about the soldier ants and worker ants have a different in shape and size. So the next is worker ants have a longer lifespan than normal ants. So the next is multiple variables that determine the lifespan of ants. So for the sixth page, it's talking about for the first paragraph is lonely ants rarely live long lives, whereas a healthy colony can live for decades. So the next is although an ant colony is started by the queen, but it can end up with the populations of millions of ants. So the next is how the ant colony founded and how it grows into a family of millions of ants. So the next paragraph is what male and female ants leave their original colony to form a new one are the first step of starting a colony. So for the next paragraph is the queen will start by laying about a dozen and eggs once she finds a right place. So the next is the queen has to take care of them as new little eggs to the different stages. So for the paragraph of sixth page is talking about the queen has to do the work herself when she has to take care of the newly eggs. So I will continue to my partner.
So for the page 7, for the 31 paragraph is tell us about the birth of the first worker after the first batch of egg turns into a child. And for the next paragraph is the fate of the colony determined by nanetics in finding food and helping the queen. For the next paragraph is failure of the nanetics will lead to deaths by starvation. And for the next paragraph, ants maintain life by expanding the colony and nest, or also called the ergonomic stage. For the next paragraph is the exchange of laying eggs that the queen has to create many workers. For the next paragraph, the more workers and for the next paragraph is the chance of laying eggs that the queen has to create many workers. For the next paragraph, the more workers and population, the more work is done. And for the next paragraph, build a solid structure for life with focus on ergonomic stage, and the ends will only do tasks that are associated with growth. For page 8, the various stage of change and activity of ants. And for the next paragraph is tell us about enters the reproductive stage of laying eggs and producing new queen when the colony is large enough. For the next paragraph is beginning of the reproductive stage, called by producing virgin and male queens. For 42 is confirmation of surviving ant species from all colonies. For the next paragraph is tell us about super colonies are formed due to cooperation between queens in expanding the colony population quickly. For the next paragraph is colony growth and establishment of new queens and males after the colony enters the reproductive stage. For the last paragraph is tell us about brief information about Theodore Pittman, an analysis and lover of nature and animals. Okay, that's all for the text of Ant Life.
And we are going to discuss about the more questions which been provided by Yusnita. For the first, it is about what are the differences and the similarities of text in. So both of them, for the first text, the the title, which the title is "The Sky is Blue." Why the sky is blue. It talks about more the reason why should the sky color be blue. But the second text, which the title is about ants life, so it talks about the general truth of what actually the the insects do. And next, maybe Sister Amalina wants to explain. Okay, so and the fifth question is about the language features. So both of the text, they use the simple present because it talks about which is which really happened of them. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so that's all from our presentation today, and thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.